Hello there. I hope you guys are having a good Sunday morning. I'm having a good Sunday morning. I'm having some coffee. And I ordered something slightly different than what I usually get. I usually go for some variation of coffee, some sort of chocolate flavoring, some sort of creamer. And today, it just tastes especially delicious. Like I took a couple of sips and I was just like I almost cried because the coffee flavor was so good. But anyway, I'm lucky enough to live in a part of the world where like I can literally drive like 2 minutes and be like looking at the bay. And so like I'm looking at the bay because I haven't done that in a long time, which is really stupid since I can drive 2 minutes and look at the bay. So like I'm looking at the bay and I'm listening to the waves and stuff, and it's really magical and wonderful. And I really am wondering if my tennis shoes will fit yet after I broke my whatever that damn bone was in my leg that made my foot swell up. So I'm not sure if I can fit my tennis shoes yet, and all I wear are Crocs still. So anyway, that's not why I'm here. I'm here to talk about two TV shows actually, and one is going to be really quick. They're both spy shows. And the first one I'm going to talk about is Citadel, which is brand new on Amazon. And full disclosure, I was only able to get through about, I don't know. I'm going to have to go back and look. 15, 20 minutes of this maybe. And I absolutely hated it. And what's really sad is that Stanley Tucci is in it. It's got Stanley Tucci. It has spies. It has the guy from Eternals who I think is very handsome, even though I wasn't a big fan of Eternals, but the guy who played Icarus in Eternals. It has, oh my God, Nick Jonas's wife, and Priyanka Chopra Jonas, who's just absolutely stunning and gorgeous. And I think I only ever watched one episode of TV that she was on, whatever was the first thing that I think of her as being famous for. And I really wanted to like it because it's spies and they're very attractive people, and the premise is very interesting that they're spies and then their memories get wiped and then they meet up later. So like that's all super like intriguing to me. And here's why it didn't work for me, because they did not pull me in enough with like the story and stuff, and the violence is gratuitous. Like, you're watching a spy show, people are going to get shot, like that's going to happen, but like just spraying bullets and blood and all over the place. And I was just like, there's too much of this and not enough like those characters are compelling. Like the characters, the writing that I heard and the little bit that I watched was very like basic and predictable, and you know, it's unfortunate. So I didn't like the show at all. If somebody else gets through the first 15-20 minutes and tells me that something changes and I should watch, then let me know, because I don't think that's going to be the case. And then the other show that I'm watching, which is freaking amazing, is The Americans. This show is phenomenal. It's great. It started, I'm literally 10 years late to this review. There's all these people riding bikes on the path. It's so cool. Literally, like seriously, like I'm 10 years late to this show. But I understand why people love this show so much. It's so amazingly well written. And I finally started watching the show because I was watching Perry Mason, which has Matthew Rhys on it. And then, like, I watched some episodes of that. I think I talked in a previous thing about how I watched, like, the first episode of season 1, the last episode of season 1. And, actually, I don't even know if I watched the last episode of season 1. I might have literally just watched the first episode, or part of the first episode. Yeah, I watched part of the first episode of season 1. I watched the last episode, and then I went on to the second episode. And, the second season, I mean, and watched several episodes of that. And it's dark and heavy, so, like, I still have more to watch, and I'll get back to it at some point. But, you know, it's real dark. And so I really like him. And then I watched one episode of The Diplomat so actually I'm talking about 3 TV shows, I guess, because, well, 4 TV shows. The Diplomat with Carrie Russell on Netflix, which is brand new, and I watched the first episode of that, and I really like it. I'm going to get back to it. And so, you know, in real life, they are together, and they did not meet on The Americans. I just watched Matthew Reese on Watch What Happens Live, and he was talking about how they had met years before, but they got together when they were doing The Americans. So I was like, well, let me watch the show with the two of them on it. And it's, if you have never watched The Americans, because you're going to be 10 years late to it too, it's set in, like, I want to say it starts in 1980. There are flashbacks to the 60s when these people started, but actually, let me take a little break and get myself home and get my kids coffee home, and and then I'll do some more. So I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. The show is about a couple of spies who basically come to America in the 60s, and then just like Russian spies, KGB, and they come to America in the 60s. They don't know each other, but they're together on this mission to just be like to play an American couple, and eventually they have kids. So when we meet them in 1980, they've got like a 13-year-old and a 10-year-old, and on the surface they appear to be like this, you know, everyday American couple, and when in fact they're spies. So a show like this is so weird, because theoretically, if you are an American, then these are the bad guys, but these are like your protagonists of the show, and you wind up like rooting for them to like stay out of trouble and stay alive and stuff like that. So that part, that's weird, and I'm always fascinated that when a show can like suck you in, considering that the protagonists are technically bad guys, but at the same time, you know, we meet people from the FBI, and you know, you're not. It becomes a lot like murkier than good guys versus bad guys kind of thing. And the storytelling is so good. The thing that keeps occurring to me about the show is that it's such a quiet show. Like, it's not like, it's the exact opposite of Citadel, where it's flashy and shooting and da-da-da. It's like, yes, people get killed in this show, but like, it's so like understated. And the moments that happen between this couple, it's so like, so much stuff is just so understated, but it's like so well done that it makes you just keep on watching. So if you like spies, if you're looking for a show to binge, this has got 75 episodes. I'm watching it on Hulu. I don't know if there's any other place you can watch it right now. And it's funny because Hulu is one of my subscriptions that I was going to pause because I don't feel like I use it enough, and I only use it for a couple of shows. And then I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm not going to pause this right now because I want to keep watching this show. So, yeah, the acting's phenomenal. The writing is phenomenal. And I think I'm at episode 7 or so. Yeah, it's dark, it's twisty, and it's just really good. So I check it out if you are one of the people like me who in the last 10 years since it started never got around to watching it. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for listening. Let me know what you think about the show. If you have watched the show, if you're planning to watch the show, if you do watch it, you know, if you watch an episode, let me know. And yes, thanks for listening. Okay, bye. I'm going to start at the end of the review, and then I'm going to go to the beginning, but this is literally me when the Diplomat just ended just now. Literally. Let's start at the beginning. Okay, let me tell you about the Diplomat. The first thing you need to know is this is not a show that you can just put on and then like clean your house or fold your laundry. The way that you can put on anything that I'm saying, the way that you can put on most anything by Hallmark, and you know, just have it on as background. Like, you can't do that. Speaking of background, I'm sorry, I probably have my, I don't even know what you call that thing. It's the thing, it's like a room air purifier, because I like cook chicken, and like it like tends to in my air fryer, and then it tends to make everything like really fragrant, and then I'm like lifting my arm as if, like, you understand what this means. Anyway, so my air purifier is running, my washer is running. You know, it's Mother's Day, and I'm just cooking and cleaning actually. Anyway, you have to pay full attention to this show, and I'm so glad that I started watching it. And I think part of the reason I did my review of The Americans, which is going to be, I'll put that at the beginning of this, and I did that like a few weeks ago, so I'm not even sure if I mentioned that I wanted to start The Diplomat, but because of Carrie Russell. Oh, she's so good. She's just so good in this show. One of the creators, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, was also one of the creators of Homeland. And one person I was either reading a review, or this is when I was listening to this podcast where these people were talking about the show. And somebody said it was like West Wing meets Homeland, which is like a really accurate description. Except I literally only watched ever like one, maybe 2 episodes of Homeland, which is because I was watching it at a time where I couldn't handle like heavy duty shows. And in general, I'm not into heavy duty shows, but I think I can handle better. I think I can handle it now. So, I would love to go back and watch Homeland. One of my besties is always telling me, like, watch that freaking show. I love Mandy Patinkin. I love Damian Lewis, who's in that show. I loved him on a cop show called, I want to say it was called Life, way back in the day. Love that guy. Anyway, so, where am I going? It's a political drama. It's like, there's lots of, the main thing you need to know going in is that Carrie Russell is, I don't even remember what you call her, but she's doing like important work, like in other countries and stuff. And then her husband had been an ambassador, and now he's not the ambassador, and he's played by Rufus Sewell, which, if you see him, like, you'd probably recognize him, but when I saw him, I was like, I don't even know where I know you from. But I know he is English, and he's doing an American accent, and Rufus Sewell doing an American accent is giving me like Paul Reiser's cousin or something. And I'm not mad at it. Like, I'm totally fine with it. He's great in this show. And he was the ambassador, and then now she's going to be the ambassador to Great Britain. But I'm not going to tell you. Don't really even need to know much more than that. But there's stuff going on with the two of them. There's stuff going on like as far as their marriage goes, but also as far as political things go. And the supporting characters on this show are the lady who plays Idra, who works for like, I think she works for like the CIA or something. Like, she's fantastic. And then the guy on the show who plays, for lack of a better word, like her chief of staff kind of person. Never seen him before in anything. He's fantastic. The guy who plays the prime minister who's like really like kind of like a total jerk, but like he's really good at playing a jerk. There's a lot going on. And again, if you like something like The West Wing, like, you definitely need to watch this show. And political intrigue. There's political intrigue going on in here. So it's not just about politics and how things are working and stuff, but there's like this backstory going on. We learn right at the beginning, like, someone has bombed a submarine and it kills like 41 British sailors. So that's what propels all of this action and stuff. And again, I just, it's so, so good. The acting and the writing will just make you be like, get so into the show. I devoured it, and I wish that I hadn't, because now I have to sit here and wait for the second season. And as you saw from my face, like, they ended on a humdinger of a cliffhanger. So, yeah, I can't wait. Anyway, go watch the show. Again, you need to be, maybe you should have a cup of coffee before you watch this so that you're wide awake. Do not try to watch this if you're sleepy. Do not try to watch this if you're distracted. You got to pay, like, a lot of attention to this. And I hope you enjoy it, because I love the hell out of this show. If you watch it, let me know. Let me know what you think. And as always, thanks for listening. Okay, bye.